everyone, I am Tacet, and today we are going to be going over some Nobend Brother teams. Nobend Brother was buffed in version 2.15, and there are quite a few more uses that we can now use with him because of that. So I will be showing a few very solid teams with him, some of which can loop very, very well. Before I do though, let me just give out the redeem code for today, 2E8MZXLIFD. For the first 250 people on PC and mobile, 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. And let's get over to our 3 teams now. On very, very good luck, this first one can actually loop on forever. I highly doubt we're going to get it. I've gotten a lot of 2-turn wins with this and other various things with it. The main thing that's changed with Nobend Brother is there's 2 main things. For one, all of his, everything that he does now scales off of magic. Previously, it was only his damage. Also, only his damage used to only give an extra turn. Now it's everything. So now he always gains an extra turn, which is huge. And now everything he has scales off of magic. The attack reduction, the damage that he does to everything, and the amount of explosions. Before, it was only his damage that scaled to give the extra turn. Now, it's everything on magic scale and everything given an extra turn. In all Goblin teams, I don't really find the Nobend Brothers to be really good, but there are a lot of teams that you can use with either just double Goblin or just with other makeshift teams of other troops, particularly Exploders, since it is technically an exploding troop, and just for other looping troops, anything that can really get mana really quickly, it is really, really good with. So right off the bat here, we're just going to start getting up either our Alchemist or our Hellcat, either of which would be perfectly fine. Since there's all this mana right here, I'll probably go for that. Not going to get Hellcat up though. Almost. If we could have gotten this purple somehow, we would have. I do have to be careful of that Famine though. That will drain us very heavily, and we will not have any mana left. So let's see. We'll go for a Yellow Surge, bait out the skulls. So we'll take that. We'll take any red convert, probably on green or something. Obviously, we'd want to try taking out a color that we don't actually need, which would just be red and blue. I mean, green and blue. So right here, I do not see an Alchemist. We can do it on brown for a lot. We can obviously do it on red, but the red and yellow we need completely on the board, regardless of what the board is like. I'm actually going to take it off of blue right here, just so we can get the cascade into the brown, so at least we don't have to wait as long to get Alchemist back up. Obviously, Skulls isn't going to do that much since he has a Gorgulfa. He's also buffing up his HP, so it's going to take this loop to get up before we can actually really do anything to it. So we'll take that. That'll give us pretty much all of our mana. Now we're good to go with this team. Once it gets started, it goes very, very well on the board. And as soon as he does that Gorgulfa, we should be fine. Oh, Famine. Don't you dare cast that Famine. He has the mana for it. If he does that, that's going to be a really big setback for us. Hopefully he doesn't go all the way. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. If he Famines right now, that's probably a lose. Luckily, he'll probably Lady Ordinarial. He'll probably do something else. Good. He'll Gorgulfa. That's something that the AI does actually a lot. Whenever they have Gorgulfa first slot, they'll keep wasting their turn on Gorgulfa. So now we really have to do some good extra turning right here. We need to make sure we do not give a single turn to him. If we do, we essentially lose because he's going to likely Famine us, and that's the end of the match right there if he is to do that. So we just got to keep converting as much as we can. We have the Goblin Rocket. Many times we're actually just going to throw away our Goblin Rocket. We're either going to throw it away or use it somewhere where we can get alignment. Like right here, I'm actually going to just completely throw it away. I don't want to interrupt these blues right here. Don't want to do anything else that might interrupt anything. So we're going to do that. Just convert out the blues. We mainly just did that for the damage, not for the mana. We can use it for board control if there's nothing around. Like we can't get in turn anywheres, but for the most part, we will be using it like that. Right here, I will probably just use a Nobend Brother, see what we get. Okay, attack reduction, that's really not going to help us much here. Against Skull Spam teams, that is really good getting the attack reduction on them. But sometimes he eventually gets to the point where he just keeps attack reducing them even once they're already at 0. Or he'll do it to teams that you don't really need attack reduce, like what we're facing right now. So let's get some more red mana. Let's just do it on green right here. It doesn't matter too much that we're not getting that much. We'll be able to get it with all of these other things on here. Right here, again, I'm just going to waste this. Maybe even get a skull right there. The board is already set up good enough that I don't really need it for the task. So right here we'll be able to get a solid Nobend Brother in. Let's see. I'll get this convert out first. I want to have the Hellcat and the Goblin Rocket up. That'll give us more options for our next move. So right here, again, I'm just going to throw away our Goblin Rocket just to make sure we don't have any more. I probably should have taken the brown-red right there. Well, won't really matter too much. So right here, of course, we do not want to end our turn. Whatever we do, we do not want to end our turn. We want to loop this pretty much on forever, and it can actually do that. As long as you use this correctly, you never lose your turn once you get it going. So let's see. Well, as you can see, he's had this famine up like this entire time. Right here, I'm going to take the yellow just so we have the Goblin Rocket. Actually, I might just throw the Goblin Rocket. Let's see. I really need that Gorgultha dead. That would help this out a lot right here. Yeah, I'm actually going to throw away the Goblin Rocket. Just going to do it like right over here. And then I'm going to take those nice yellows. That's actually going to be all of his mana, get some skulls, and we'll just be able to Goblin Rocket that once again, do it right down here. And let's see, we'll take those skulls, trying to get that Gorgultha dead. Of course, we're hitting it 4 at a time until that really dies. A little annoying. So we'll just do this. Get an explosion, and we can kind of just keep casting it now. Of course, throw the rocket first. Just, we should sometimes use it for board control, but the board hasn't really needed it much yet. So let's see, we'll use this here. Oh, maybe I should have saved it for board control. We might have a problem here. Let's see. Nope, we got it on red. Okay, always safe. So we'll convert that out. Oh, wait, never mind. Well, we'll do it on blue. There we go. Yeah, I do want to probably save that rocket some. I shouldn't throw it always just away. We'll need it for board control in case the board goes bad. But as you can see, at this point, we pretty much won. Oh, I actually should have done the Goblin Rocket first. That would have been a good time to throw away the Goblin Rocket because we would have gotten all his mana back up. Didn't really need to do that. So we'll just take that. Hellcat would be nice if we can get it on. There we go. Get it on the brown. Just do it there. Then we get purple next turn. And that's pretty much match. Not much I can get in our way now. As you can see, we've done like how many casts in a row at this point? I've lost count. But as you can see, this is essentially an endless loop of just goblins and everything else. There we go. Okay, we'll end it with skulls, fine. And there we go. We even ended it with all mana. From getting this team up and just keep going, and then just one endless turn. We never gave the AI a single turn once we actually got it going. Of course, sometimes it's a little bit hard to get it going, as you saw in that match. But once it goes, unless you do something like extremely wrong, it should be fine. You do want to use your extra turns first. You always want to use your Nobend Brother and your Goblin Rocket first when using that team. You also want to make sure you use that Goblin Rocket. If the board doesn't get as lucky as we were getting, you do want to try using that Goblin Rocket to set up pairs that you might need or take mana that you need. Next up, we're using a safer build. This one's a lot more consistent. Plus, we have the Dragon Soul in it for farming. One really good thing about this team is it actually has 3 different exploders: Gorgultha, the Dragon Soul, and the Nobend Brother at a 1 out of 3 chance. And the Sir Snothelm will help with whatever mana we don't get. And he was the event week or the event troop for this week, which kind of makes his team viable. Plus the fact that the Nobend Brothers actually got buffed, so it'll work out pretty nice. It's essentially any Dragon Soul team. We even set it to the Dragon Soul banner of +2 purple, +1 red, -1 yellow. That's pretty much always the banner you go when using Dragon Soul. There's very rarely ever any times that you wouldn't use that banner with the Dragon Soul just because of how extremely powerful it is. So we'll take that purple mana there since we have a +2 on it. We'll then explode the board, which should hopefully give us the mana we need for our Dragon Soul. And then we pretty much just keep looping from there. Of course, this isn't like an endless loop team. This is more of just a safe, consistent team that you can use. Just use this on whatever's the biggest threat, most likely the first troop. Simply because you'll want to negate the attack as well, since it also entangles. So you always want to throw the goblins first. You want to use the Sir Snothelm first because he doesn't have a chance to explode. You want to use the Sir Snothelm and then follow that up with the Nobend Brothers. Also, I keep saying their name wrong. It's Nobend, not Nobend. So we'll do the Dragon Soul, and there we go. We'll pretty much always get a Sir Snothelm up from pretty much any explosion that any one of the 3 do, because it doesn't have any blocking and it only takes 12 mana. So just throw this at whatever is the biggest threat. I'm going to just keep throwing it at all of their biggest magics. Just keep tapping them down, use the Dragon Soul again, and just keep doing that over and over again. And that's pretty much just what you do. Just use your extra turns once you get them before you explode, of course, just so you can utilize the full amount of their ability and the extra mana. And let's go from there. Use Sir Stout Helm first. Let's kill out the Gorgulfa so we can actually do skulls. Good, he didn't get demonic pack. We'll explode again with Gorgulfa if we don't get anything. Nope, we'll use Nobend Brothers. And perfect, we even get some skulls and we even stopped him from doing everything. So use Sir Snot Helm first. Let's kill out the Brian the Lucky. He's not going to be so lucky. Let's use the Nobend Brothers. And follow that up with a Dragon Soul. And we'll even, of course, get the max of souls for this very, very easily. And that's the match right there. All we have to do is just cast everything, and it should be dead, or pretty close to it. So we'll do that. If this hits on attack, it kills. Or at least the Dragon Soul will. Yep. Oh, no, Explosion will as well. And there we go. We didn't even need the last Dragon Soul. We got a random skull from the explosion. So that is a much more consistent team. You can't loop like endlessly with it like we did with the first team, but it does. It's a lot more consistent, and there's like pretty much nothing is really gonna mess up this team for the most part. And the last build is a little bit of a mix of both of them. It can loop endlessly, and it is slightly more consistent. I want to say slightly. Well, especially against a Bone Dragon. That could be very scary. Many of you guys know Double Mana Core, Deep Boar, and Bone Dragon, at least in late game, is extremely popular right now. And we'll see if we can do with this. This is basically the first team that we use, except with the Yarrow up front. Yarrow, of course, since we're making a bunch of red and yellow on the board, will be able to pretty much always get his ability to do an extra turn. Of course, with bad RNG, we could just get completely messed up, but hopefully that will not happen. But that always is a possibility with gem spawners, unlike converts, which you already know exactly what they'll do. Things like Alchemist, things like Hellcat, Green Seer, Giant Spider, Valkyrie, things like that are very consistent because you know exactly where they're going to convert, exactly what they're going to do, and they have a lot of board control. Whereas things like Euro with the gem spawn, a little bit more random, and unless you have a lot of red and yellow on the board, it's not always going to give you a favorable result. So we'll just take some Hellcat mana right here since we don't really have any other options. Next yellow or purple will get him up. I was trying to get the Yarrow up, but it doesn't look like the board will give that to us. He does have double mana core right now. I think I'll bait out one of them just to give us some more time to get some mana. He is going to actually get that drain off though, and there doesn't appear to be much I can do about that. So hopefully I can bait it out to get 2 stuns or 2 drains on Yarrow. Hopefully he doesn't go for the Hellcat. So good, actually I can do that right there. We'll bait out the skulls. And here comes one of those instances in which this team does not really do much on the board. Right now there isn't really anything that we can do as far as taking anything. We can't convert. The only thing we can really do is convert the browns over yellow. Yeah. Oh, wait, never mind. We can do blue. I almost didn't see that. That's good. Okay. I'm ranting on about having no move, and it's just sitting right in front of my face. So we'll try to convert. It would be ideal if we can convert something with Alchemist, and it looks like we can. Well, that will get Hellcat up, plus it will increase our chance of getting a Yarrow. You do want to make sure whenever you do that, you don't accidentally remove more yellow or more red with the Hellcat than you're actually creating on the board. Of course, whenever you do that, you don't exactly want to go and aim for mana. You want to aim for an extra turn, but not exactly for big clumps of mana. You want to make sure you keep as much of the colors on the board as possible of red and yellow. So we'll start hitting at this mana core right here. We do need it to die, especially since it has its drain up right now. So we'll pretty much just be able to spam Yarrow theoretically endlessly, though we could get bad luck, and that is bound to happen eventually. But let's see. Nope. As long as our luck is good enough, we should be fine from this point forward. Use that, get it out of the way. Okay, attack reduction. That normally would be bad, but since he's using a Bone Dragon build, that's actually going to be very good. Attack reduction is basically the only thing that really works exceptionally well against this team right now. So there we go. We'll be able to kill that out. Should be able to get an extra turn with all the red and yellow on the board fairly easily. Okay, slightly less now. Might want to try getting a convert, or we could just gamble with it. Let's see. I'll go. I don't know which one. I guess I'll go forward to Mana Core. He has a high attack, and if we kill that next, we won't really have to worry about either of them or anything. On his team, you won't have any damage left. So we'll do that. We got damage, which is good. We'll kill that out. And now he basically can't win. He's going to have such a low attack that he can't really do much. We have been getting slightly unlucky. Luckily, Cascades have been saving us every single time here. So, actually, convert won't really do much. I do need to get Yarrow mana, though, so we'll convert out the brown. Yellow convert would have just made less yellows than there even was on the board. Plus, we didn't really need the mana. Like right now, I wouldn't actually want to use this on green just for the Hellcat, simply because it would actually reduce the amount of yellow on the board overall, since we're taking that full clump there and there. It's only going to create a few more, and it's overall actually going to reduce the amount of yellow on the board. So we'll just keep spamming this. Actually, probably would have been better to go for the Bone Dragon right there, but they'll die in time. Doesn't really matter too much which one we aim for at this point, given how low their attack is. Even if he somehow gets the Bone Dragon off at this point, it's going to do such little damage that it won't even kill the Yarrow, most likely. So we're going to lose some mana here, but I didn't have the Yarrow up, so I needed to do something to get him up. But that's the match right there. Ooh, and I forgot about Frozen Soul. 1 HP, and yeah, I hate when I forget about Frozen, but it doesn't really matter. Just use anything and dead. Boom. So yeah, those are a bunch of Nobend Brother teams. If you have any other questions about these teams or about the game in general, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Otherwise, thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.